Hi, I'm Kesenya and welcome to Guiding Star Astrology. I'm your Astro Weather Girl, here with this week's Astro Weather Report. I'm going to show you how the stars are going to affect your life this week. Oh my goodness, my friends, what a week. In fact, what a couple of weeks we are in for. Jupiter is in culmination with the brightest star in the sky, the beloved and worshipped by the ancients in Egypt and beyond, the famous, the beautiful Sirius. Now, this event begins this week we're heading into, but it's going to reach an even more powerful culmination conjunction with Venus, Jupiter and Venus coming together in the sky in just over 2 weeks' time on the 12th of August where I live. Now, this is going to be an incredibly rare, blessed and auspicious event that I am so excited to see forming in our skies. Let me tell you all about it. And thank you so much for being here at my YouTube channel. You are all so welcome. I'm glad to be sharing the knowledge of astrology with you. Something to keep in mind, my friends, as we go forward with this week's Astro Weather is that I'm going to be discussing parens and fixed stars. Now, as with heliacal risings of certain stars, with parens and fixed stars, it's extremely dependent upon your place on Earth. Where do you reside on Earth? How much this energy will be influencing you. Now, I can't sit here for hours on end describing every longitude and latitude placement on Earth in respect to this rare astrological phenomenon. So can I encourage those of you who are interested in understanding astrology at a deeper level than you'll get in almost any other astrological course to please consider studying with me at the Royal Stars Academy, particularly level 2 where we spend some time exploring visual astrology, and level 3 where we looked at the fixed stars. Two fabulous topics amongst many other wonderful stars in my Royal Stars Academy astral sky. So those of you who do understand visual astrology and watch my channel here, hello to everybody who does, I would encourage you to look at this event on one of the online softwares that allow you to do so, to see if this culmination is occurring in your part of the world or will be an energy that is pertinent to your part of the world. For most people in southern latitudes, particularly people below the Tropic of Capricorn, you're going to experience this energy. You may not be able, or you won't be able to see it in the sky. You'll be able to see the culmination of the conjunction of Jupiter and Venus together in the sky. Yes, that will be visible, but the culmination with Sirius is a very rare astral event, and it'll happen at midday or thereabouts, in the hours surrounding midday, in the southern latitudes mostly. Northern latitudes won't experience this quite the same. Now, I can't wait to tell you more about this. Jupiter and Venus, they conjunct on the ecliptic plane, which is the path of the sun, every year, but only conjuncting in Cancer once every 12 years. So they conjunct every year annually, but only in Cancer every 12 years, because Jupiter is only in Cancer once every 12 years. And Cancer tropically is where we find a lot of the important fixed stars. Now, when Jupiter and Venus conjunct in Cancer, even then, they are not always in alignment by culminating paren with the fixed star Sirius. Last time this happened in exactitude was 1942. That's how long ago it was. They very nearly culminated in paren with Sirius in 2001, but not quite. So last time this actually did occur was 1942. So this makes this event extremely rare, and not everybody on Earth will be able to experience this energy. Some places in the Northern Hemisphere, Sirius hasn't even had his heliacal rising yet. In the Southern Hemisphere, he has. Not so in some places in the Northern Hemisphere. So he still appears in the Northern Hemisphere to be lost in the glare of the sun. And this is not the case for the southern declinations on Earth, where Sirius has actually been visible as the rising morning star for quite a little while. So what does this extremely rare conjunction of Jupiter and Venus in culminating paran with Sirius actually even mean for us? Well, for those of us in the southern declinations, we're very blessed. Those who are inclined to do these sorts of things might enjoy doing a ceremony over the coming weeks in the lead up to the conjunction of Jupiter and Venus. So currently this week, Jupiter is in culminating paran with Sirius, but over the coming couple of weeks, Venus will join him. So why not do a ceremony, perhaps every day or once a week or whatever suits you, over the coming weeks to honor this occasion that is so rare and so beautiful. And from this week forward, Jupiter is in culminating paran with Sirius, as I've said, and Venus is day by day edging closer and closer to this energy and will be there with Jupiter on August the 12th. So where are we? Here's Jupiter here, here's Venus here in Gemini, edging closer and closer day by day till eventually on August the 12th. So this is where they are this week. This is where they'll be on August the 12th in a conjunction together. So, as I said, time to do a ceremony if you're into that sort of thing. Now is the time to prepare our heart and mind in whatever way suits you best. Take introspective walks in nature. Meditate on the planets and their themes and their energy. Pray. Find your peace and gratitude with certain things in the world, such as the beauty of nature or lovely food that you eat or the friendships and love that you have in your life. Do this, whatever works for you, whatever kind of meditation or prayer or ceremony is your bag. Do that and enjoy this energy and bring it more fully and more consciously into your experience. Now, for those people in northern declinations, you might like to do that too if that is something that interests you. You may even be interested, if you have the means to do so, in taking a holiday south of the equator. Be even better if you could go south of the Tropic of Capricorn to be in place to receive and enjoy the energy of this conjunction in culmination with Sirius over the next 2 weeks. Obviously, not everybody can afford to do that, so my suggestion for those in the Northern Hemisphere would be enter into ceremony and focus your mind and your heart and your spirit on what is occurring. Now, when Venus and Jupiter culminate with Sirius, here we are, and I'll draw Sirius in there so we know what we're talking about. All in a big row, boom, 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 in the sky at midday. So that's what we're talking about. Let's put it high up in the sky there. That's what it will look like. When this happens, it brings fated beneficial events because we've got the two benefics in combination with Sirius. Now, this is especially powerful for people who have personal planets around this area of Cancer, between 12 and 16 degrees, I would say. We might all experience some of these blessings of this culmination to some extent or another, but for anybody who's got personal planets here, what do those planets rule generally? What houses do they rule in your chart? That's where you might be most likely to see the fated beneficial events occurring. Pretty exciting stuff. So that's, just to repeat, between 12 and 16 degrees of Cancer. If you've got something there, you are under the influence of this culminating conjunction. So this energy might look like, or can bring about in our lives, significant new beginnings, new starts, turning over a new chapter of the book of your life. Fresh energy. How wonderful. For some people, it can look like moving to a new location, migrating, or beginning a process of relocation. Maybe you start looking at which country you're going to go to. Maybe you start looking at houses to rent or houses to buy, that sort of thing. The energy begins towards an outcome of relocating. Some people might find that they see their relationships, their deep connections, their intimate connections in life in a new light, a divinely inspired light, an uplifting light. They see fate, they see blessing, they see divine hand in their interactions with their particular loved ones. Inspiration and achievement comes from this culminating energy. Culminating conjunction, inspiration and achievement, but particularly for people who work with things like poetry, music, architecture, artists of all kinds. So if you are involved in those kinds of fields, expect that you could be very blessed and have a lot of inspiration and success with some of your projects at this time. Some people might suddenly achieve results that are beyond their wildest dreams, particularly in those fields I just mentioned. It could be they get a contract for an artistic project that they only ever dreamed could be so. They might get some sort of success related to architecture, or maybe in some athletic endeavor, particularly as well. This can be the case. So suddenly achieving results that go beyond anything you ever imagined would be possible for you in this lifetime. What a gorgeous energy, hey? So involvement might happen for some people in a successful project that sets a new standard on some sort of global scale. That can happen for others, that could be almost anything really, but it would be some sort of project that blesses humanity. Sirius is a fixed star energy that is all about the greater good for humanity. And my God, don't we need this sort of blessing here at this point in time in history? I'm excited to see this. So involvement in some sort of successful project that is a blessing for the greater good, a blessing for humanity. Now, some of the successful projects that occurred in 1941 that were beneficial on a global scale were things like the first jet engine flight, the first flight of a jet-propelled aircraft, using designs by Frank Lloyd Wright, but Frank Whittle. They occurred in 1941. This was a crucial step in the development of jet propulsion for both military and civil aviation. Not only that, we had the mass production of penicillin start in 1941. I'm not a big fan of Big Pharma, but penicillin is necessary. So it was discovered a lot earlier, but its mass production for clinical trials began in 1941. This was a turning point in the fight against bacterial infections. The first blood plasma transfusion occurred in 1941 during World War II by American surgeon Charles Drew. This was obviously a new blessing for humanity that we can actually do this. And the Z3 computer was the first functioning computer program controlled by a forerunner of software, essentially controlled automatic computer. This was a precursor to the fully programmable universal computers that we can see today, and this began in 1941. So you see how this energy, this culminating energy, brings about these fantastical new projects that affect humanity on a global scale long into the future. It's also, this combination is a wonderful omen for popularity. And so if you have personal planets around this point, your popularity could stand to really increase and grow and flourish. But even just generally, we can have a much more successful social life, just be more popular at a party, or make really valuable connections when we're out and about. So my friends, this is what we're looking at. I'm keen to know what this now means for all signs, aren't you? So we're going to start by going to Cancer as the rising sign, but you can also consider your sun or moon sign as well. Cancer, this culminating energy. That's how I'll refer to it as we go along here. It's active for even more than 2 weeks, but it's building over the next couple of weeks. You're going to notice it powerfully. And this could indicate a significant new beginning in your life personally for you, and what motivates you. You might be motivated by something more profound, more beautiful, more divinely inspired going forward from here on over the coming weeks. How you are received by the world around you, how you interact with the world around you might change, might get a fresh new start as well. Your image, your look, your appearance might shift and change because of this energy occurring in the first house of the body and your physical effects. It's also a really good omen for popularity for Cancer people. So if you're putting information out there on social media or YouTube and things like that, if you're writing blog posts and what have you, the information that you share, your personality, your aura, your energy is going to be much more successful because of this energy. It's going to build to a point of success over the coming couple of weeks. It's a very good omen for popularity to have this occurring in your first house. First house is also the house of survival. It's the house of the main reason that we incarnate. And so this energy is going to influence you very personally, Cancer, because this is a really empowered combination of energies. Naturally speaking, an empowered combination of energies for good. So your reason for your purpose and mission that you incarnated for is going to flourish. Now that could be anything. Maybe you incarnated to be a good mum. That's what you really want to achieve in your life. That's the purpose and the mission that you've got in this lifetime. Maybe you incarnated to move on the political stage and be a real advocate for nations and the power and sovereignty of nations. And somehow this energy is going to bless you in doing that this week. Maybe you incarnated to grow beautiful flowers. That's your heart's desire, your passion. You want beautiful flowers so that everybody can enjoy this. One of my boss's wife, actually, this is her passion. She grows flowers and just gives them to our clinic and to anybody who's needs a lift. Beautiful flowers. That is her mission at this point in her life. So what is your mission? What is your purpose? What is your reason for incarnation? Well, this beautiful energy is going to cause that to flourish and prosper and be more successful, maybe even beyond your wildest dreams, Cancer. So this could be such a beautiful gift to many of you Cancer people, particularly any of you Cancer people who happen to have your ascendant degree at between 12 and 16 degrees of Cancer. Very, very exciting. Thank you, my lovely Cancer friends. Enjoy the blessing. Moving along. Leo rising, Leo sun, and Leo moon people. The energy of this culminating influence that's building for the next 2 to 3 weeks is going to be affecting your 12th house. And this is the area where you might have a significant new beginning occurring in your life. Many of you Leos might find that you get the opportunity to move to a new location as well, because the 12th house is far away places that are a long way from where you currently reside. And with this new energy having a theme of relocation about it, it could be time for you to start looking further afield in order to bless your life ultimately. Maybe you're going to move to, in relocational astrology, a much more auspicious line, a relocational line that's going to bless your life long term into the future. This energy could bring that about. Some of you might find that that it's through 12th house mechanisms that these new beginnings occur. Maybe you get a vision, maybe you get a dream, maybe you channel some sort of information, maybe you see a sign, maybe you see an omen, maybe some ancestors on the other side speak to you, guide you. I mean, you might not even be consciously aware that's what's going on, but they're pulling the strings so that you see, a certain animal. And then when you Google animal omens, the animal represents everything that your soul needed to hear in that moment. So I just encourage you, my Leo friends, be open, have a broad heart to accept and seek to understand all the messages from Spirit that might come through. Some of you might achieve a result beyond your wildest dreams, particularly to do with artistic endeavors here. The 12th house is a very artistic house. It has to do with poetry, film, anything that's fanciful, anything that's dreamlike, anything that's about other realities. So your imagination is another reality, quite literally, Leo. When you sit and have a cup of tea in the afternoon, or it's raining outside, and you snuggle up in your warm blanket with a cup of tea, looking out the window at the rain coming down, and your mind wanders to all sorts of beautiful, fanciful castles in the air. Your dreams could become reality because of this energy. So this is a good omen for actually achieving the dreams of your soul that go beyond anything that you ever thought was actually possible in the tangible realm, in tangible reality. Remember I said this is about suddenly achieving results beyond your wildest dreams. Now this is particularly true, like I said, for artistic endeavors, but this is the house of imagination. This is the house of dreaming. It's also the house of past lives and karma. It doesn't say in the scriptures whether this is good karma or bad karma. It's just the house that's telling you past lives. So to have this occurring here it's such a benevolent combination of energies. Some blessing is coming into your life as a result of your, I would say, good karma, with the two benefics here conjunct in alignment with Sirius. Some sort of blessing coming to you as a result of the kind things you've done, the good things you've done, the gracious things you've done in your past lives. Past life just rewards for many of our Leo friends that are occurring here. This could be a time of spiritual awakening for many people, or involvement in projects that have something to do with 12th house themes. So could be some spiritual awakening project that you're involved in. I think about like Project Hindsight, which is an astrological project, sort of revisiting the old ancient knowledge of Hellenistic astrology and bringing it to light for humanity. That's the kind of project, that we're talking about here. A project that's very 12th house, something from the past coming back into favor. Other 12th house types of projects that could bless humanity would be maybe a film that's going to change humanity. This is the house that has very much to do with film, some sort of photography project, some sort of escapist project. Maybe you get involved in a wellness retreat or developing some sort of holiday program that helps people, get back into balance and into some state of spiritual consciousness again, through some sort of holiday project. These sorts of things, anything 12th house really. I mean, 12th house is also hospitals, prisons, like I said, holiday resorts. You might get involved in some of those, a program in a prison that helps people to make the best of their lives so that they leave prison early and have flourishing, fruitful lives or something. So these are just some examples of different projects that a Leo person might be able to get involved with in order to utilize this energy in a compassionate way for society as a whole. I am inspired by this as a Leo person. I'm quite excited to see what it's going to bring about. One thing I will say is that the 12th house does have to do with expenses and debts, and here you've got the god of wealth and the goddess of money coming together in a very auspicious alignment. This, for many Leo people, could see, I feel, something occur that helps alleviate debt and alleviate expenses. I don't see this as bringing in great expense and great debt. I see this as perhaps a benevolence from the divine, a benevolence from the gods to help with expenses, to help with any debts, to sort of nullify them. Quite exciting in that regard too. Okay, moving along. Thank you, Leo. To Virgo rising, Virgo sun, Virgo moon. Well, for Virgo people, this culminating energy that is building for the next 3 weeks, we're in the throes of this energy getting stronger and stronger and stronger going forward. It's falling in the house of profitability and gainfulness for you, my beautiful Virgo friends. So there could be a significant new beginning that occurs in your life with regard to how you are making profit, how you are making gain. Now, this could look like going onto a new project in your career, or changing careers, or getting a newer sort of higher up role in career with more remuneration. That could happen for many Virgo people. But really, wealth in the 11th house is associated with the wealth we make from what we're contributing to the world. What are you contributing to the world, my Virgo friends? Are you contributing your skills, your talents, your knowledge? Are you contributing your service? What are you doing that is a contribution to the world? That is going to be the source of a significant new beginning in gainfulness for you with this very auspicious combination that is forming. Now, this is also the 11th house, the house of our life desires, our wishes, our ambitions. Many Virgo people will be able to see positive steps forward and inspiration for their wishes and their ambitions, especially if your inspirations and ambitions have to do with poetry, music, architecture, or some sort of artistry, and even sporting and athletic endeavors. That's where you'll really see a lot of flourishing in some way. Now, not only that, but this is a house of our friendships, our connections, the people that we network with. Deep friendships that feel like siblings to us are actually seen from down here in the 3rd house. But the 11th house has to do with the people we associate with, that we network with, friendships, and also mentors and motivators who are friends as well, the type of people that we want to hang out with. And so I think for many of our beautiful Virgo people, you're going to be hanging out with really lovely benefactors this week. People who are on your side, who are waving the flag for you, people who believe in you, people who might support you, people who might, invest in you even, believe in some dream or goal that you've got and really back you. So especially as Jupiter is the planet associated with benefactors. In this energy here, in this 11th house, many Virgo people might get a benefactor who comes on their side, who helps them achieve what they want to achieve in the world and do the work that God has placed them here to do. So that could be quite exciting for many Virgo people, you lucky things. Yes, so this is what I'm really feeling into for our Virgo friends. It's also a good omen to have this combination forming in your 11th house because it means popularity and it means a successful social life. And this is a social house. So your networks are likely to expand. Your connections are likely to sort of go up a level in influence. You might even get recognition by large groups of society, large clubs or organizations. People might see you and notice you and value you in some way that could then even lead to some sort of auspicious rewards and gains that come your way as well. This is a house of the internet, electrical systems, any type of system really is seen through the 11th house. And so it's in some sort of system or internet, which is a system, that you might get the chance to be involved in some sort of project that sets a standard on a global scale. Health system, ecosystem, environmental system, the internet system, like banking system, like that. You might be involved in something on a systematic scale that is going to empower and bless society going forward for the future long term. Thank you so much, Virgo. Libra rising, Libra sun, Libra moon people. We are seeing this benevolent, look at this, benevolent culminating energy for Libra people forming in the 10th house. So it's quite auspicious for our beautiful Libran friends because it's on the midheaven, and that's what culminating Paran actually is. When something is culminating, it's on the midheaven, it's over the north point. So very powerful for Libras in that sense. So Libran people, Libran sun, moon or rising signs, this is a significant new beginning with how the world sees you, a significant new beginning in recognition, a significant new beginning auspiciously for your reputation. Many of you Libran people are going to grow in popularity because of this energy in some way, shape or form. Maybe your popularity and you're popular in your workplace or online, on social media. You're popular with some sort of work that you do, like a song that you release, or a book that you write, or film that you're involved in, or a project at work that you head up, some sort of leadership position in the world, something that you are giving to the world as a potential legacy is going to cause popularity with this energy culminating so beautifully in your very auspicious 10th house. So many of you might be, as I said in the introduction to this, involved in some sort of successful project that sets a new standard on a global scale. And this could be like a new governmental structure, or a governmental type project, or some sort of authoritarian kind of project, because 10th house has to do with authorities. So it could be some political, what's the term that I'm looking for here? Some legislation that you're involved in writing, perhaps some new regulations or rules. So I just encourage you Librans, do the right thing by all of humanity with the legislation that you're writing. I had to get out of town planning because I couldn't stand being part of Agenda 30, that 2030 that they're trying to bring in. My moral consciousness would not allow me to remain in that field. with that agenda, which is going to destroy humanity. But enough about that. Back to what is happening for our lovely Librans. So again, a successful omen for popularity and success socially and visibly and career-wise as well for our Libran people with this forming in the 10th house. Remember, this is an energy where you could suddenly achieve results beyond your wildest dreams. And this has to do with career. So what career work are you focused on? What career success do you want to bring about? What legacy do you want to leave the world? What do you want to be remembered for? What do you want to be respected for? What do you want to be known for? This is a very wonderful combination that can bring that about beyond your wildest dreams. And I'll also point out to my lovely Librans that this is an Arthur house. An Arthur house in Vedic astrology is one of the income generating houses, the wealth generating houses. So the wealth that we generate to provide shelter and for our body and food for our body. So you could achieve results beyond your wildest dreams with regard to your ability to generate wealth and income here, according to the Vedic system. So I'm excited, Libra. This is absolutely lovely. The 10th house has to do with what we do to go about gaining recognition and success in life. And with this combination of energies, I would suggest that it's being involved in poetry, music, art, architecture, and even athletic endeavors that could bring success for you. So let's say, I don't know, here's just a kooky one that's popped into my head. Let's say that you are part of a corporate company and they're having a company football day, and you've got to organize yourself into 2 teams for the corporate football day. You know how companies do these sorts of team building exercises all the time. Well, you participate in the football day and you absolutely star to the point where you are just way beyond everybody else's capabilities at the staff football day. And it's success beyond your wildest dreams because it actually gets you noticed by authority figures, people in charge, people high up the ladder, and they want to know you better. They want to interact with you. They want to understand what you're like in your workplace because look at you on the sporting field. These sorts of things is what might unfold with this kind of energy. Success beyond your wildest dreams in various projects, in various endeavors, and certainly in career prowess. So exciting times, Libra. Yes, this is a time when you could be very inspired as well, with some sort of gift from the divine, if you like, on your heart and your soul for what you want to leave the world, what you want to be remembered for. So it's a very good energy. Pay attention to what your heart is telling you for the next 2 to 3 weeks as you really feel into this energy, because you'll be being guided to create a benevolent legacy for those who come after you globally, because Sirius is involved in this, but also on a personal scale for you as well. Thank you, Libra. Scorpio rising, Scorpio sun, Scorpio moon people. Well, for Scorpios, this lovely combination of energies, the culmination of Venus, Jupiter, and Sirius, is occurring in your 9th house. Now, this is going to be building over the next 2 to 3 weeks. Currently, Jupiter is in this favorable position, working towards a culminating conjunction with Venus. So this indicates significant new beginnings that will be occurring for you, my beautiful Scorpio rising people, with regards to 9th house themes. So this is likely to involve for many Scorpios some sort of move, or maybe investment in foreign real estate, or beginning a process of looking at moving somewhere more beneficial for you. Get into relocational astrology if you haven't done so already. Find out where life is going to be good for you, and move there. But this energy could inspire you. It could really give you sort of a message from spirit about where to go and a new life that can unfold for you in a new place. There can also be significant new beginnings for many Scorpio people with regards to grandchildren, because grandchildren are seen from the 9th house. So some of you may not be grandparents, but you might become grandparents because of this very fertile energy that is occurring here. Some of you might If you have grandchildren, get a chance to sort of participate more in your grandchildren's life, and there might be a significant new beginning here. Also, this is an omen for popularity and success socially. So if you are a grandparent, it's likely that you're going to be increasingly popular with your grandchildren going forward as a result of this energy, particularly in the next 3 weeks. Your grandkids are going to want to be around you all the time. Now, not only that, this is the ninth house is the house of our purpose and mission. It's what they call dharma. It's what gives our life meaning. And so this is telling me that for many Scorpio people, getting involved in something that benefits the greater humanity on a global scale is what's going to give your life meaning going forward. So you might get the opportunity, there might be somebody who invites you to join a project, or you might get inspired yourself with some sort of like a creative idea that could be a gift to humanity that you want to see fruit. Well, the universe is going to bless you, perhaps even beyond your wildest dreams with that project. So it's going to feel right, it's going to feel purposeful, it's going to feel meaningful to you. This energy says you want meaning in what you're giving out to the world. I also feel for many of you Scorpio people, you'll be inspired, I feel, to perhaps learn something new at a higher level, to get some sort of mastery. This is not, high school certificate stuff. This is master's degree, doctoral degree kind of energy. And so, you might be really surprised at what bubbles up for you, Scorpio, as you're like, I think I want to go back to university and get my doctorate in Greek classics or something, and you are inspired to go beyond where you've ever been before because of this energy here. So I love this energy. I think there's some significant new beginnings with study, with learning, with intelligence, with research, with dharma and purpose and meaning. So even if you don't go back to university or study something new, I think your heart's purpose might shift and change because of this energy, and you might suddenly find something that really floats your boat. If you've been floating around not really knowing what you wanted to do with your life, Scorpio, this energy could help get you on the path to where you should be. This is the fifth house from the fifth, and it represents perfected karma, because the fifth house is actually the house of good karma from past lifetimes. So fifth from the fifth, which is the ninth house, indicates perfected karma, like ultimate good karma. And this energy is the two benefics in conjunction with such a powerful force in culmination. Sirius, this is a really good omen for the blessing of good karma, the blessing of your good deeds in past lives coming back to uplift you. And I just say, if you feel that's the case and opportunities are presenting themselves in your life and chances to really turn life around, can I just encourage you, my beautiful Scorpio friends, to consider all of humanity in what you do right now. We really need people in positions of blessing to be able to pass that blessing on and change our nations. I heard a discussion, Scorpio, online, that was saying, people use the term, the 1% of people who've got all the wealth in the world. And this person pointed out that it's not even 1% of people have all the wealth in the world. It's basically 120,000 people. Such a minuscule amount of people with all the wealth in the world. And I think with all the opportunities and blessings and good karma that's unfolding for our Scorpio friends, if you can help lift up all the rest of humanity in some way through some successful project or some, compassionate, benevolent project that you could get involved in or that you could help to bring about, do it, bring it about. It's a pivotal time in humanity where certain very few little people want to try and ruin the nations for everybody else. And I'm going off on a tangent and I do apologize. But this is the house of the big picture, the big world view, and what we can actually do in a charitable, compassionate sense for the greater good of humanity. And so I just encourage you, my beautiful Scorpio friends, seek ways that you can bring that energy of blessing and love and charity and mission and purpose and dharma to humanity as a whole, so that we can change the world. Thank you for letting me get all preachy there for you, which is very apt for the ninth house, which has associations with religion. But Scorpio, I'm sure you understand where we're coming from. Your purpose and mission, your beliefs, they're seen from the ninth house. So use this benevolent, charitable energy to guide your energy into what is good for you and for the whole world. Finding our truth, finding freedom, finding liberation, all of these things are ninth house things. Thank you, Scorpio. Sagittarius, rising sun and moon people, you guys are having this combination of energies, this beautiful Venus-Jupiter conjunction culminating with Sirius, forming in what is your 8th house of your chart over the next 2 to 3 weeks. A very exciting time. So this indicates some significant new beginnings with certain 8th house themes in life. So if you've been living in a crisis of money, a crisis of health, a crisis of morals, or whatever it might be, a crisis of, you could see a brand new, benevolent, blessed start afresh, turn over a new leaf in your life, a new transformation of some crisis experience. This is exciting to me. For many Sagittarius people who've been going through the ringer, this benevolent energy could transform crisis into blessing, could transform difficulty and challenge and the rug being pulled out from under you into a chance to flourish and thrive and make money. I mean, this is the god of wealth, the god of money, with the auspicious, blessed Sirius. Could you ask for anything better? So this is an energy of, in the 8th house, it's about external sources of assistance. Many of you Sagittarius people might receive assistance now from somebody who's heard about your plight or your difficulty or crisis and wants to step in and help you. It's not an energy of benefactors, but somebody might give you an opportunity to help you turn over a new leaf, to transform your life, to get out of this difficulty that you might have been in. This is also an energy that indicates being popular and receiving some sort of social recognition and success through 8th house mechanisms. Now, if you are a deep researcher, Sagittarius, if you are somebody who's into the occult or mysticism or conspiracy knowledge and research, you could gain popularity for those things. You could gain some sort of social success for understanding those sorts of things now. Very exciting. So somebody could bless you, support you, be a resource for you in the material sense, but also you, even being involved in 8th house things, could generate your own success as well, your own thriving and flourishing, your own new beginning, essentially. This is 8th house is a house of mystical healing. So shamans, Reiki practitioners, psychologists, astrologers, surgeons, anybody who deals with chakra energy. This is a beautiful refreshing of the chakras here, but also of your own energy field. The 8th house is actually a gateway house, a gateway to other energetic dimensions. And so with 2 benefics forming here in such a beneficial combination, you can expect a deeper understanding of these other energetic fields, which is what shamans do when they do mystical healing. It's what Reiki practitioners do when they're dealing with energy. You could actually have a really powerful reset in your own energy, but also understand energy, vibration, energetic healing better at a deeper level, and certainly in doing so come to a deeper knowledge of the mystical and the magical, which is what it is. It's just mystical, magical stuff is just working with energy on a divine level rather than working in the earth plane. So fabulous, fabulous energy for many Sagittarius people to really move beyond the known into something greater, bigger, and much more powerful than the mundane that we all exist in. So you might get involved in some sort of successful project that sets a new standard on a global scale. This, for Sagittarius people with this forming in the 8th house, could look like some sort of financial project or financial regulatory kind of situation, some tax situation, some sort of big investment project, big business project perhaps, some managing of other people's money that is a really exciting new project. And you could actually for many Sagittarius people, because this is a house of windfalls, inheritances, payouts, and large gains that we don't earn, that just come to us from sheer blessing. Quite a polaric house, the 8th house. It's crisis, but it's also massive blessing. This energy of two benefic planets and Sirius all in alignment here could bring about for some Sagittarius people some sort of massive windfall that is beyond your wildest dreams. Particularly might have something to do with architecture, or might have something to do with some sort of mystical artistry of some description. They're just a couple of examples, but yeah, achieving a windfall or a lucky material result that goes beyond anything you ever imagined you could do could be possible because of this, once in nearly 100-year lineup of energy, sort of 90-year lineup of energy. Wow, quite incredible. I really feel with this energy there is a renewal coming for Sagittarius people, a rebirth coming for Sagittarius people of the most benevolent kind, a refreshing. And that gives me so much happiness to tell you, Sagittarius, because I know you've been really struggling. I also feel that there might be a refreshing of the most benevolent energy in terms of intimacy, sex, and the way you relate physically with your deepest love, which to my mind, I'm not judging anybody who thinks otherwise, but that's to my mind what the 8th house is all about, that deep, intimate sex that goes beyond just a physical act with any old body, but is actually much more about the intimacy of the soul connecting in the physical realm. So it should be, to my mind, it should be with somebody who you have a deep, intimate belonging to, soulmate connection with. But yes, there could be a refreshing of your sexual energy. We all know how beneficial and powerful sex is to a healthy physical and emotional functioning, but also many people are traumatized by sexual experiences that were not a blessing. And so I think this energy could, in the 8th house, could actually provide healing and renewal and cleansing from a lot of the intimacy issues that many people carry. So if that's you, Sagittarius rising sun or moon who's watching this, it's my prayer that this energy brings about the healing that your soul needs to be able to fruit and flourish well in that realm, in all realms of life really, because trauma is an 8th house thing, and trauma is certainly something that makes life hard. So I see this as a very healing combination, sort of a once in 80, 90 year combination of energies for many Sagittarius people that could really resolve a lot of the karmic traumas that you carry, or childhood traumas, or even more recent traumas. The healing is coming your way. I love it. Thank you, Sagittarius. All right, Capricorn rising, Capricorn sun, Capricorn moon people. Well, we're having the energetic combination of Jupiter and Venus in conjunction. Whoopsies. The conjunction is going to occur in about 2 to 3 weeks, but it's building towards it now as Jupiter is in alignment with Sirius in certain declinations by Paran of culmination. So, wow, this for Capricorn people could really be a source of significant new beginnings in relationships. So this could mean for some people, if the relationship you've been in, whatever relationship, client relationship, business relationship, marriage relationship, if it hasn't been authentic, if it hasn't been real, if it hasn't been floating your boat for years, this energy could bring a change. But it's not going to feel like a burdensome change or a traumatic change. It's going to feel like freedom. It's going to feel like the winds of blessing blowing through. That's how it might play out for some people. For others, it might see a restoration of a relationship that was struggling. Because one of the energies associated with this combination is being able to see your relationships in an inspired divine light. So if you've been struggling to relate to your partner, whoever they may be, for ages, you're going to suddenly see them with the eyes of God, with the eyes of love. You know, when I was young growing up, I was bombarded with a lot of Amy Grant music, and she had a hit song called My Father's Eyes, and it's actually a beautiful song. In fact, a lot of her songs I actually really did enjoy. But I've just moved beyond that sort of stuff now. But in this song, My Father's Eyes, she asks to be able to see the world through Father's eyes, God's eyes, essentially. And what more beautiful request can there be? To be able to see people with eyes of love, to see them as God sees them. I mean, how gorgeous is that? So, my beautiful Capricorn friends, that's what this energy really, really is being able to see the partnerships, the relationships in your life as God sees them. You know, and if you're being abused or traumatized by a relationship, well, imagine God looking down and seeing you in that situation. Would that bring pleasure to the divine light of the universe? No. So it will inspire you to change and move on if that is the case. But if you're, you know, if God sees your relationship as full of potential, despite the rockiness and the thistles that grow along the roadside of your relationship, if there's potential there, then you are going to suddenly be able to see the potential, the divinity in the love connection that you've got. So we could actually see, I think, for many Capricorn people, a lot of healing of relationships that is going to occur with this energy. Now, you could also find that you're partnering with people, not just in a marital or business sense, but partnering with people for the purposes of Venusian, Jupiterian kind of outcomes and projects. A poetic partnership. I think about Lennon McCartney. What a beautiful poetic partnership that was. So musical partnerships. This is a time many Capricorn people, you know, let's say you play violin, someone might ask you to join their string quartet. That sort of thing. Partnerships that are inspirational for musicians and architects and poets and artists. So maybe somebody invites you to come show and exhibit your artworks at a joint exhibition. So you and this other person, maybe they're a sculptor, maybe you're a painter, and you hold a joint exhibition. This is the kind of thing that could happen. Some sort of collaborative efforts that bless your life might come about as a result of this combination. Now also, because this combination does have overtones of being able to achieve results that go beyond anything you imagined, that exhibition that you host might get a visit from, you know, the top art gallery director in the country, who is so impressed they want to buy some of your works. Fantastic. Beyond your wildest dreams. So, you know, if opportunities to collaborate come your way, Capricorn, over the next couple of weeks, take them. Grab them by the balls and run with them, as they say. Because you actually, in doing so, might get the opportunity to be involved in something that is more successful than you could have ever imagined. And it may even end up being that you are involved in something that sets a new standard on a global scale, that goes to some higher level and impacts humanity beyond even your little world that you function in. This is a really good omen for success and popularity, for collaborations, for joint ventures, for partnerships. So I just encourage you to not poo-poo. If you're a really independent Capricorn person who just does things for themselves, don't get too invested in doing it that way for the next couple of weeks, because you could miss the opportunity of a lifetime to partner up and see things flourish. Thank you, my beautiful Capricorn rising, sun or moon people. Aquarius rising, sun and moon people. Well, the energy of this wonderful and amazing culmination of Venus and Jupiter conjuncting by culmination with Sirius is occurring in your 6th house. Now, this is building over the next 2 to 3 weeks. So the Jupiter and Venus aren't conjunct yet, but they are building towards it. In fact, Jupiter is already in culmination with Sirius. Venus is just going to join him there in the next couple of weeks. And this is a really powerful energy that promotes significant new beginnings for you in your 6th house. So this is the house of the daily activities of the body. This is speaking to some beneficial new routines that you might establish, Aquarius. Health routines. This is a chance to actually heal the body. This is a house of healing. Many of you Aquarian people will be able to, under this influence, which is a 1 in sort of 80 to 90 year energy, you'll be able to heal old addictions, heal old habits, heal old ways of being that really cause you to have a less than stellar daily life experience. Old habits that bring you down. Maybe you got a habit of drinking late at night and then you wake up feeling seedy and crusty every single morning. Well, that's a habit that this energy could help you flip and help you turn over. So significant new beginnings with your health, significant new beginnings with your habits that change your life forever. So if you've got a habit that you want to get rid of, or some kind of lifestyle thing that is not doing you any good, this is a time to pray, because Jupiter rules prayer, to pray for the divine support that you need to turn that on its head, to change that all around. I do apologize if you can hear the chainsaw going in the background. My neighbors are trimming their hedge. It's driving me bonkers. But back to this energy, Aquarius. Prayer is a really powerful tool for transforming your daily life and getting out of bad habits. You might also find that for many people there can be miraculous occurrences where you achieve health that is beyond your wildest dreams. Like, this is the kind of energy, this rare, powerful energy that could see healing happen from sources that we never thought were even possible. You go and have an acupuncture session at your local Chinese medicine clinic, and you're healed of some chronic condition you've had for 20 years. Beyond your wildest dreams, some sort of healing that occurs. So be open to all possibilities of healing and avenues for restoration. Acupuncture, reflexology, energetic healing could be another one, nutritional adjustments, whatever it is. There are so many ways that the universe could step in and give you health results that you only imagined were possible. Now, this is also a really good opportunity for many of you Aquarius people to get involved in some sort of successful project that's going to be of benefit on a global scale. Now, this is likely to be a health project. Maybe RFK Jr. brings you up and says, we want you on board for this new project we're launching across America. We're going to wipe out seed oils in every single state. And you're like, count me in, I'm on board. Let's get back to health. So, this is just me carrying on, but this, for some people, that might actually happen. Involvement in a project to do with health, to do with well-being, to do with diet, to do with exercise, to do with releasing toxicity and purging and cleansing toxicity out of humanity on a global scale or a national scale. It could legitimately happen that RFK rings somebody up who's listening to this. I hope he does. But let's get back into this, like, a healthy mindset. And healthy communities involve more than just what you eat and toxicity. There's toxic criminal practices happening in our societies. That needs purging, that needs cleansing as well. So I see this happening for Aquarius people in a very powerful position where you can be involved in the healing of society on so many levels. Healing of conflicts, healing of health, healing of well-being, balancing mind, body and spirit, balancing adversity, balancing and setting to right disadvantages in the world. The 6th house is the house of imbalance and disadvantage. And with this beautiful energy forming here, Aquarius, it's actually calling you for a mission, for a responsibility to be a part of getting things back into balance humanity-wide on a global scale. What an honor and what a responsibility. But if anyone can do it, it's you beautiful Aquarian people who have a heart for humanity. I will just say this could actually be a combination that really does favors for you in the workplace and helps you perhaps generate more money from your daily work. Why is that? Well, in Vedic astrology, this is one of the Artha houses that generate income and wealth. And so when things are going well with our 6th house, we generate prosperity. We generate the money that puts the bread on the table. With these beautiful benefic planets in such an auspicious combination over the next coming weeks, you could actually find that the conditions of your workplace improve so much that your financial situation improves and is much more balanced and harmonious as well. You might be able to get out of debt and balance your expenses and balance your debts so that you have none. And that would be wonderful. It's best, I think, if we can all live without debt. Wouldn't it be wonderful to go back to what was actually said in the Bible about the Jubilee year and the ending and the wiping of debts every 50 years? It's funny how some people get really literal and religious about what the Bible says in some areas, but they conveniently forget the Bible talks a lot about forgiveness of debts and the cancellation of debts. In fact, it talks about that almost more than anything else. What a shame people don't pay attention to that. But you never know, Aquarius. You could be somebody who highlights the importance of that to humanity. Cancellation of debts is actually a 6th house thing because it's putting people back into balance with what is out of balance financially in the 6th house. So prayers that that's what happens and that we start to see more of that moving in our societies. Thank you, Aquarius, rising, sun and moon people. Now, precious Pisces. Pisces rising, sun and moon people. Okay, Pisces, we have, aren't we lucky? I'm so glad to be a Pisces today because this auspicious energy, Jupiter, and I will just apologize if you just tuned in, I've got my neighbors trimming their hedge. They do it far too often and it's so annoying. So I apologize for the noise in the background. But we've got the benefic that rules your sign, Pisces, Jupiter, in alignment with Sirius for the next couple of weeks, and then Venus is going to join them there in the culmination Paran. So this for you is happening in the 5th house, the house of good karma, the house of blessing for your past life or maybe even early life good deeds. Were you generous in your early life? Did you give things to people in need in your early life? The universe might just give back to you multiplied thousandfold in some way. There's also the opportunity of significant new beginnings occurring for Pisces in 5th house realms. If you have felt unlucky for years, Jupiter, Venus, Sirius connection here could bring a significant new beginning in luck, and suddenly opportunities are appearing on every doorstep. Every single door that opens is a new chance for you to succeed and get lucky and be a winner. 5th house energy is the energy of winners. So beautiful energy for Pisces in that regard. Sometimes this energy can bring about suddenly achieving results beyond your wildest dreams. Now, it's also a house of creative intelligence, your hobbies, your projects. You might find that a hobby of yours or something that you've put out into the world that is your sharing of your creative intelligence suddenly has like the most amazing success. I'm thinking about me perhaps as an example because I'm a Pisces rising. You know, my Royal Stars Academy lined up to do it. That is wonderful. I'm so grateful for that. But that's what I've put out there in the world, sharing what is my creative intelligence around astrology. And it would be like a dream come true for me to get lucky enough to have that flourish into a super successful course online, similar to many other astrologers out there who also have astrology teachings online and I know do very, very well. So, you know, that would be an example in my life. Touch wood, God bless me. I hope that's what happens. Suddenly achieving results that go beyond what you even imagined it could be. In some artistic endeavor, perhaps in some sort of project related to architecture, some sort of maybe even athletic endeavor, because the 5th house is connected to sports after all as well. But anything poetic or musical or artistic, anything requiring creative intelligence could actually see results that go beyond your wildest dreams. Lucky, landing on your feet in some way, my beautiful Pisces friends. One other good thing, and there's many good things about this placement, but this is a house of fun. So if you feel like life's been a burden, life's been hard, you've had to work for the last little while just to survive, Pisces, there could be a significant new beginning that makes life more joyful, that makes life more fun, that makes life more happy. Now, it is about time Pisces had a bit of that energy in their life. I mean, they've had Saturn transiting their first house for 2.5 years. It is time Pisces had more fun. Time that they experience some kind of a gift or a blessing from the divine that allows Pisces people to want to be alive, not to want to piss off out of here, as I often do, but the ability to feel more love, to love things at a deeper level, to feel joy and excitement and happiness and the fire of God, to feel exhilarated. The joy we have as children is seen from the 5th house. I remember being a kid and just being so excited for every day. You know, what's going to happen today? Who might I meet? What might happen? What fun can I have? And then as we get older and we get into the drudgery of life, we lose that. Well, this energy could bring that joy back, that delight in everything that is happening, in the little things, in the big things. Not only that, but for many of our beautiful Pisces people, there could be a risk that really takes off, a gamble that pays dividends. So, I mean, that could be anything, couldn't it? It could be that, you know, you send a manuscript to a publisher hoping that they get on board with something that you've produced. And that's a risk, isn't it, to put that out there, hoping that people get on board with it. It could be buying a lottery ticket that pays off for our Pisces friends. Oh God, I hope so. You know, but it could also be other things as well. You know, this is a combination for great popularity and social success here in the house of celebrity. Many Pisces people might find that they have the opportunity to be recognized, to be popular, to become something of an overnight celebrity. This is a combination of energies that could see you go viral. I love it, Pisces. I hope that happens to everybody out there who wants that to happen to them. I do see this as being a very beneficial combination for love and romance. So if you're a single Pisces watching this, this is sort of a once in 80 to 90 year energy that could actually bring quite a profound love your way. The ruler of you, Pisces, which is Jupiter, in the 5th house of love and romance, conjunct with Venus in alignment with globally powerful, globally blessing, brightest star in the night sky, Sirius. So I'm excited for many single Pisces people who are longing for love, because this could bring it your way. You need certain things happening in your own natal chart, of course, to combine with this energy. But for many Pisces people who do have that, the opportunity is profound. Not only that, but it could bless our children as well. So you might find that your children get opportunities that just blow your mind and beyond your wildest dreams. That your children have chances to move ahead in life in big leaps that only comes once in a lifetime kind of thing. So fun and joy for your children as well. What a great position to be having this energy forming in. For those of us who are happily in love, such as myself and David, and he's a Pisces moon, I might add as well. So this energy for both of us and anyone else who's Pisces watching this could bring a deepening of love. Because one of the energies that this combination brings is being able to see your relationship in an inspired, divine light. So those of us Pisces who are in a loving relationship, it's going to go deeper. It's going to get stronger. It's going to grow more powerful and more blessed by the heavenly forces than it ever has before. And I'm so ready for that. Bring it on. I love it. What a joy. What a joy, my beautiful, wonderful Pisces. You can tell I'm losing my voice, but don't worry, Aries. I'm going to stick at it. You're next. Aries, rising, sun or moon, this beautiful energy of the alignment of Jupiter, Venus and Sirius, which is building over the coming 2 weeks. Jupiter is there already. Venus will join him on August the 12th. This is coming together and will affect your 4th house. So this is where you might be having some significant new beginnings in the coming couple of weeks. Aries, quite literally, you might be moving to a new place, migrating to a new area, beginning the process of relocation in some way. You might be dealing with some sort of new beginning in terms of architecture. Somebody's redesigning your home or planning an extension on your home, or you're building a new home, something architectural. Let me just say, if that's where you're at, Aries, many of you are going to be so happy with the results that it's going to knock your socks off. It's going to be beyond your wildest dreams. Now, some of you Aries people, if you are, this is a house of comfort and security and how safe you feel in life. This is an energy where if you do move, or if you are building a new house or extending on your old house, that moving, that migrating, that change is going to help you feel more stable, more secure, more of a energy of belonging than you've ever known before. So maybe you've been in a community and you just didn't feel part of it. It was hard to make friends. People had their own circles. You were always on the outer. Then along comes this energy, inspires you to move, and suddenly you feel this energy of belonging, of like being with your tribe, being with your community like you've never known before. This energy could bring that about. Not only that, but this is also an energy that can help you see your family with eyes of love. Eyes of appreciation that you might never have had. You know, it's so funny to me that I'm watching my teenagers and how they're interacting with me as a mother now. And there's a lot of, oh, Mum, what would you know? You don't have any idea what it's like, Mum. You're so out of touch, that sort of thing, like teenagers do. And I see them behaving in certain ways like this, and I'm like, you know what? I used to be like that too. And it's funny, as I've gotten older, I can see myself and my behavior in a new light when I was their age. And I think that is quite gracious of the universe, perhaps, that we don't see our behavior and what it really is like at the time, but only in hindsight, especially when we have children of our own. And we start to make sense of the things we did and the way we thought and the way we behaved. But I see that as the divine giving us information when we're ready for it. And certainly, I think many of you Aries people are going to look at your family, maybe your children, maybe your parents, in a new light that is divinely inspired, with the wisdom of maybe greater years now, or the wisdom of understanding, maybe even the wisdom of compassion. Jupiter rules compassion. The energy of forgiveness, which is a Venusian energy. Forgiveness and compassion coming together in the fourth house of family. You're going to be able to look at your family with eyes of love, forgiveness and compassion in ways that you never have before. And indeed, your family might be able to look at you in that way as well. Might be able to forgive you or be compassionate towards you. So I think through this energy, we might see a lot of family restoration that occurs. Through this energy, we might see a lot of reunification of family, support of family, love of family, making life better for many Aries people. Quite exciting, really. So this is also a good omen for popularity with family. Or maybe with a family legacy. Maybe you're being handed down the local hardware store that your great-great-grandfather established years ago, and now it's your turn to make a go of it. Well, under this energy, if you receive that legacy from your family lineage, it's going to be very popular for you. It's going to be very successful for you if you receive that lineage in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Fantastic. The popularity will go with you going forward. How lovely. This is also the house that has to do with businesses that we operate from home. So even if it's not a lineage gift from the family genetics and the family line, if you run a business from home, this is a beautiful combination of energies, Aries, to bless your entrepreneurship, to bless your home-based business with success, with prosperity, with growth. So even many of you Aries people might get involved in some sort of successful project that sets a new standard on a global scale in realms of architecture and home provision. Certainly here in Australia, the government, we all know why, it's for economic reasons, that they're pushing overblown migration that's not good for the nation as a whole, and not good for the future of the citizens of the nation. But everybody needs homes. We've got so much migration, and the building industry can't keep up with the amount of homes that are required. So it's possible that Aries people might be given opportunities to get involved in projects that set a new standard for homes, for the type of quality of homes built, for the amount of homes built, for the need, addressing the need of homes built in some way, shape or form. And this addressing of homes, places of living and residence, addressing issues of safety and security and comfort for people, addressing also Aries issues of patriotism and nation building are your responsibility going forward as a result of this, Aries. And it's really important on a global scale. I do need to say my little 2 cents worth here, Aries, because this energy is going to be with us potentially until the next time we have this culminating energy. It will be more than 12 years away. Could be another 80 or 90 years before we have this culminating conjunction occur. And during that time, Aries people, you are here to set the standard for our nations. And there's people, only a small percentage of the world's population, not even a percent, decimal point of a percent, of people who are with their Agenda 2030 trying to destroy nations, trying to destroy economies, trying to destroy the prosperity of nations and take it all for themselves. And if ever there was a time we needed people with your Aries fighting spirit to stand against such things, it's now. Aries, it's a big burden on your shoulders. It's a tremendous responsibility, but we need you to be the leaders for our, redeveloping and reinvigorating our nations and bringing them back to what they're meant to be, what they were heading towards at sort of the late 1890s, early 1900s, that got hijacked by various little people who thought they were more powerful and more deserving than the rest of the world. So Aries, nations and the prosperity of nations is seen from the 4th house. And in your 4th house, you have this very powerful, very important, very significant alignment that is occurring. So my prayer for you Aries people is that you'll be shown the right path forward, that Jupiter will guide wisely your steps to help bring the nations of Earth back into a place of power that has been lost from them. That's my prayer. Anyway, enough of my soapboxing. Thank you for listening, Aries, and good luck with your mission if you choose to accept it. Taurus rising, Taurus sun, and Taurus moon people. The energy of this wonderful grand alignment of Jupiter in culmination parent with fixed star Sirius is building to a point over the next 2 to 3 weeks where it will have a conjunction not only with Sirius but with Jupiter by culmination and parent and conjunction on the ecliptic plane as well. So I'm excited, very, very excited to see this happening. And Taurus, it's happening in your 3rd house. So this is all about a brand new start, a significant new beginning occurring for you in the 3rd house realms. I think many Taurus people are going to move into realms of craftsmanship that maybe they never even considered exploring before. I was sharing this with my Patreon family just this morning, and I was saying how we have what is called the Lost Trades Fair here in the town where I live in. Once a year we have this fair, and it has all sorts of lost skills, and like armor making and knife making, basket weaving, all sorts of fabulous old traditional skills that are going to be so necessary going forward in humanity. And when I go there, I just love to go and stand and watch the I was going to say stonemasons. I don't know that they'd be called stonemasons, but the stone wall builders. And I can sit there and watch them making stone walls forever. And I'm like, gosh, I want to do that. I want to build a stone house, And so there's this part of me that's tempted to get back into some sort of skill set or learn some new skill set that will be useful going forward in life. I'm very inclined that way anyway. I love anything structural. I love sewing, as everybody knows, and that's a craftsmanship. So what I'm pointing out here, Taurus, is that many of you might have a significant new beginning in some area of necessary craftsmanship in the world. You know, whatever that might look like. It could be, you know, furniture making. It could be leather work. It could be spinning and dyeing. It could be weaving. It could be any skill set that might be useful in societies going forward that need more, let's say, manufacturing, but more skill sets in terms of craftsmanship. I miss it. I hate mass manufactured everything. Who wants to have a tilt-up concrete slab house, seriously, when you could have a beautiful stone cottage? Anyway, enough. Thank you, Taurus. You are destined to have significant new beginnings with craftsmanship. Not only that, but there could be a significant new beginning with a small business. This is the house of buying and selling and trading and small business that you might actually get involved in. Now, it could be a side hustle, but that side hustle over time could turn into something more permanent. Jupiter is for not the long term. Jupiter looks into the future and says, this is where I want to be in the future. Aim my arrow here. Jupiter might be, you know, saying to you, time to learn this particular craft or establish this particular business, because in the long term it's going to become your mainstay. It's going to become really what you're all about. So Taurus, it's certainly worth looking at where you want to be in the future with maybe a craft endeavor that you're good at, or a business that you want to establish, maybe some buying and selling and trading. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. Maybe some sort of skill set that uses your hands. Third house energy is to use your hands. Could be hairdressing, could be anything really. Could be advertising, could be marketing. So I also feel that for many Taurus people, with such things, you could achieve a result that goes beyond your wildest dreams. Now, this is particularly true if your craftsmanship involves some sort of artistry or is linked to architecture in some way, because those things are very part of this combination of energy with Sirius. So let's say you're into stone wall building and you might be invited to come and build some massive chateau, and it becomes an architectural icon, and there's your stonework, your craftsmanship shining for all to see. It really puts you on the map with your creative process, your skill sets. Just an example, it could be anything, but suddenly achieving an opportunity that helps you to have a result beyond your wildest dreams that you ever thought you'd do. This is also an energy for being involved in a project that sets a new standard on a global scale. And the third house has to do with general education. Believe me, Taurus, the education system needs a right royal boot up the arse. It is terrible. And, I look at what my children have been sort of forced fed in their educational institutions here in Australia, and it disgusts me. Is it any wonder everyone's going to homeschooling? It needs a change. It's going to get a change too with Uranus moving through Gemini. But education is seen from here, and I think, Taurus, many of you might get involved with an educational project that is going to set a new standard on a global scale for education, for teaching, for imparting knowledge. Now, that could be online, but it could be in person, it could be through workshops, who knows. But as I said in the introduction to this video, so many new things came out of the last conjunction of Venus and Jupiter in alignment with Sirius that were globally impactful. This is an energy that says education globally impactful, and you, Taurus people, stand to be involved with that, stand to have something to say about that, stand to be incorporated into whatever that project might look like. So I'm excited. Do it for all of us and our children and our grandchildren, that they get the right education about things that matter, things that are important, my beautiful Taurus friends. Final thing that I do want to mention is that this is an opportunity for more popularity and social success. And of course, it's happening in a house of friendship, neighborhoods, and relatives. So many of you, my beautiful Taurus friends, are going to get the chance to be more popular in your neighborhood. more successful socially in your neighborhood, or appreciated by your siblings, or valued by your relatives. This energy could bring out some circumstance where that is experienced in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So excited for you to have all the joy that that will bring with it, my lovely Taurus friends. Gemini rising, Gemini sun, Gemini moon people, thank you for sticking with me, Gemini. I've just about lost my voice, done so many videos today, but I am so excited to share with you that this energy of Sirius culminating with Jupiter over the next 2 weeks and will eventually conjunct with Venus, Jupiter and Sirius in culmination by Paran coming up on the 12th of August. So we're in this movement increasingly more and more and more towards this benevolence. It's happening for you in the sign of Cancer, obviously, but in your second house. So Gemini, what this means is there's significant new beginnings occurring for you financially, to do with anything that you need to support your body's journey in life. Food, shelter, clothing, material resources. I'll just say apology again. My neighbours are trimming their hedge. It drives me bonkers. They do it all the time and it's very noisy. So if you can hear that, I'm sorry, Gemini. But anyhow, what resources are you looking forward to seeing a new beginning with? Maybe you need a new pantry. Well, it's time now that you might actually see that eventuate in your home. Maybe you need a new shelter. Maybe you've been renting an apartment, it hasn't been to your liking, it hasn't really been working out, and you want a place of your own. Some miracle could happen with this combination of energies that brings that to bear, where you get the house maybe even of your dreams, because this is an energy that can bring about results that go beyond our wildest dreams. In the material realm, here in the second house, you know, this combination of energies does have links to moving to new locations or migrating in some way. Now, if you do not feel safe, secure and stable with where you live, this second house is about feeling materially sound and solid and safe. If you don't feel that way where you live, then this energy might bring about a shift or a move for you that allows you to move to a place that feels more materially solid, safe, sound. This is also an energy that might help you to get involved with financial projects. And when I say financial projects, Gemini, what we're really talking about is the chance to be involved in big scale projects that are going to affect the world. So maybe you get involved in writing financial policy, or working with local banks to instigate some kind of a project to bless your community. Many banks do try to do that, thank God, at a local level, but the upper levels of banks you got to scratch your head about sometimes. But anyhow, you might get involved with some kind of a financial project that's going to bless the world on a larger financial scale. Now, the second house also has to do with food. And so you might be involved in projects that have to do with organic food and bringing in healthier farming practices that allow us to eat better. We're all very aware of that now. That's been brought to our knowledge thanks to Uranus's transit through through Taurus. We know about unhealthy food and Bill Gates's Malthusian endeavor to depopulate the world through his various mechanisms, including his ridiculous appeal and cricket infestations of processed food. Anyhow, back to what we're talking about here, you might get involved in a project to set a global standard for the food that's produced, a global standard for the food that is given for human consumption, because food is a resource. Second house, resources. You might also be involved in other things that involve resources. Maybe you get involved in a project that helps provide shelter for people who don't have it, or clothing for people who need clothing. Food not only produced in ethical and healthy ways, but food for people who don't have it. Hello, Palestine. Gemini, if there's any way that you can get involved in helping get food to the Palestinians, this is an energy that will help make those doors open and those opportunities arrive. Don't ask me what they are, I don't know, but it's certainly needed. Anyhow, this is resources for your life blessing is coming from this combination of energies for your life in a resource sense. You might get some, blessings of money coming in and more earnings and more dividends from your investments and all that sort of good stuff for you. But Sirius brings this global energy to what is happening. And your role, my beautiful Gemini friends, is to be a part of resources for humanity, resources for everybody on the globe, resources for the nations. Cancer is connected to the energy of nations. And so you may get this opportunity that opens up in the next 3 weeks to give some good to humanity on a resource level by bringing resources to nations that are struggling to have just the essentials of life at the moment. I did see something and I just have to share it. I saw something online. I hope it's true, but I saw that many dock and wharf workers are refusing to load artillery onto ships that are destined for the certain countries in the Middle East, and I was very pleased to see them taking a stand that way. Let's keep the resources we don't want them to have, military resources in that sense, away from people doing evil things, and let's make sure that the people who need resources of blessing, resources for living, resources that help us thrive and flourish as nations and as people, that people do get those. Anyway, enough of my soapbox. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here and for sharing this video with me. I look forward to sharing more videos like this with you coming up in the future. And may Jupiter, Venus culminating with Sirius be an absolute blessing in your life.